I want to talk to you guys today about some good concealed carry options. This might even be a good do's and don'ts video for the newbies out there, which is what I'm gearing this video toward. This is going to give you something to think about when you go to choose a handgun for concealed carry, or maybe even a handgun for your vehicle, or just on your person, and different options of how to carry that handgun. I have several different items on the table here that I picked out from the gun safe, just to give you some examples, to speak about each firearm and how it would be to conceal carry and the different options that you would have with that firearm. So let's start off with the G43. This is going to be one of the most popular carry concealed handguns and handgun calibers on the market. This is a 9mm slim single stack Glock 43, and I have on there the XS Big Dot night sights. Work really well. I have a 3.5 pound connector. It really takes about a pound off of the trigger pull and helps the trigger pull to feel much smoother than what it normally was. It has on here the Brooks Tactical A grip, which is really worn in. I like the Brooks Tactical A grip. If I peeled this off, it would be like brand new underneath still, even though there's a lot of wear on this firearm. Now, one of the great things about something like this G43, and this is also going to be speaking about the SIG P365, the Springfield Hellcat, and I'm going to add one to that. If you don't have a ton of money, or you don't want to spend much money on a concealed carry firearm, the gun that I would recommend you to get, and I get this question all the time, you don't want to spend much money, what do I recommend you get? I recommend you get the Taurus G3C. That is a firearm that I have watched a lot of reviews, read a lot about on, and I do want to get that soon. That is going to be a gun that's going to be on a magnet up in my shower against the wall. I want to get a Taurus G3C for the collection, and I want to test it out for you guys on video. But if you don't have a lot of money, we're talking $240, the Taurus G3C would be the gun I recommend for you. So with all these smaller guns like that, the SIG P365, Springfield Hellcat, or any of the other various vast amount of firearms out there that are around this size, you have tons of options. First of all, for this Glock 43, you have a pocket holster. You can use this, put it right down in your pocket. A little bit harder to get to. A lot of times this holster doesn't stay in the pocket, even though it has these little rubber pieces for grip, but it can still be drawn out of the pocket. Always use your thumb to push off when you train. When you're in a standing position, you push off and draw out of your pocket like that. Also, this is from Pete at the Armory channel. This is a really good holster that I highly recommend. This is a in the waistband holster. I shoot left-handed. This would be in your waist on the left-hand side. Also, some other options are to add rounds. This is a +1 base plate. So this would give you 7 + 1, 8 rounds in the firearm. This is a Terran Tactical +1 base plate. Or you could go with a Terran Tactical +3 base plate. So I would have 10 in here total, which now they're making these little 9mm out in the market by their companies that hold, 10 to 13 in the regular magazine that come with it. So there's a lot of different options you can look at for that. One of the other great things about this, guys, one more I want to show you before I talk about that, that would be an appendix carry. I'm not a real big fan of appendix style carry, though I have tried it, but this would be like an appendix style holster. I believe this is Bravo Concealment. You could carry appendix. And then I have another one here to show you, which you could also carry. This is a really good little ankle holster. I believe this is DeSantis ankle holster. Yeah, it's DeSantis. But you could carry this on your ankle. What this is good for, guys, is it's not really good if you're out on the street and you're walking or something. Getting to it is not going to be very fast, very quick at all. Better to have it on you than to not have it at all if you have to go that route. Maybe you're wearing, some kind of sweatpants or something, and it's the only way you can carry it is on your ankle. I would say do it over not doing it. But where this holster is going to shine is from a seated position or from inside the vehicle. You're basically, when you're inside the vehicle, and you're in a seated position, your hand, if your hand reaches down from the steering wheel, you're right at your ankle, ready to grab this. If you're in a restaurant eating, somebody came in that restaurant, or say they were shooting up the restaurant, or somebody had a fight with somebody in the restaurant and the guy pulls out a gun, you would be able to just reach down. Anytime you're in a seated position, this is right where your hand would go. Just by tilting just a little bit, your hand would be right on this gun on your ankle. That's where it would really shine. Anytime in a vehicle or in a seated position, or if you just really need deep concealment and there's no other way that you can carry this, better to have it on you on your ankle and a little bit slower to get to than to not have it at all. For you new guys out there, this is something that guys will look at and they'll see, man, this is really something else. This gun's really tricked out, has almost every feature on it you can get, has a red dot, has a white light, a green laser. You look at something like this, holds 15 plus 1 rounds of 45 ACP. You look at something like that and you're like, yeah, you know, I'm just new to carrying, but I want something like this. This is going to be a great defensive gun, great home defense, which it is, all those things. But I have to tell you guys, after being around this stuff and doing as much as I do with firearms, this is a handgun that most guys will not carry because they'll feel that the weight is too much and it's too cumbersome and they don't feel comfortable enough when they go out. So it would be better to have this and carry than to have this and leave it at home on your nightstand. Now, I am going to actually have a holster made and I'm going to carry this. This will only be an outside the waistband holster for me, which I can do year round. It doesn't have to be winter. Some guys will take a gun like this and only over the waistband carry it in the winter time. Some guys will switch, like they'll use this in the summer, this in the winter. That's fine. Any time of the year, I can carry this over the waistband. I will not go inside the waistband with this. It's too much. This is going to be a couple pounds on your side, so it is doable. So if it's something that you're dead set on and you feel, hey, I want something like that, first of all, my opinion is go with the lightest white light or white light and laser combo that you can find. Don't be adding all kinds of the big Surefires and different things down here and wanting to carry that unless you know what you're getting into beforehand. But you got to have the right gun belt, you got to have the right holster, and you can carry this gun. Just bear in mind, depending on your body frame size, if you just wear a t-shirt, you may not be able to get away without this thing printing like crazy. But in the wintertime, it would be easier for you. I'm a guy that I'll carry this year round if I want to. I already know what this is going to be like, and I will get a holster for that as well. So I just want you to know up front, guys, always think about it in terms of weight, concealability, and where and how you're going to carry it, you new guys, before you look into picking up something like this as your first carry concealed firearm. Next, we have the Glock 29 10mm. This is a great carry conceal gun. Can easily go in the waistband, can easily go over the waistband. I've carried this thing when I was running at the park last year. I would carry this on my side. I had no issues with it whatsoever. This is just a little bit wider than a Glock 19. The dimensions are almost the same with a standard magazine. In fact, this and some of the Glock 19 holsters can be used interchangeably. This can be used in some of those Glock 19 holsters, as well as the Glock 19 and some of the holsters for this G29. But with that, you're carrying a round that is as powerful as a .357 Magnum revolver, which is a proven round. Also, what's nice about this is you don't really have a lot of capability for ankle or other things like that when you carry this. You can go in the waistband, out of waistband, no ankle, it's just too much. But you do have an option for 15 rounder, so you could have 15 plus 1 rounds. So right here, you would have 16 rounds, and in this big guy, I could have 16 rounds of 45. And look at the size difference. This is still way smaller than this guy. So this would be 16 rounds in this of 45 ACP, and this would be 16 rounds of 10mm, which, again, as I say, is as powerful. You can get rounds up to and exceeding .357 Magnum velocities. This is a 10 plus 2 base plate, so you could have 12 plus 1 in this firearm. Great carry concealed gun. I didn't bring the holster in with me. I got a paddle holster over the waistband for this. It works perfectly. I've done it. Okay, now let's go down and look at some of these other things. This is one of my favorite revolvers, just because of the action, the size, and that it still holds 6 complete rounds of .357 Magnum. Most all the revolvers made by Smith or anybody else that's this size only hold 5 rounds. And the trigger on this is amazing. No snag, no hammer, but the trigger pull is really amazing. To me, it's like shooting a 1911 style trigger in a revolver. The trigger goes back very smooth, then the trigger pull gets light and there's a crisp break. You don't feel that long, heavy 10-pound pull that you would have with other revolvers. This Kimber K6S is one of the best carry concealed revolvers I believe you could carry. You can do .357 Magnum, you can do .38 Special plus P, and you can do .38 Special for training with this revolver. This is a great gun. You could use it on ankle, you could use it in the waistband or over the waistband. You have all those options with this revolver. Now, if you are a big caliber guy, just wanted to show you that this is a .44 Magnum Smith & Wesson Model 629. This is the Talo edition. You could carry this. If you take the cylinder diameter from side to side, it's not much wider than one of your semi-auto slides. So to have this on your side, you could easily carry this either in the waistband, over the waistband. I'm going to go ahead and say for 99% of the people, it's not going to work as an ankle carry, but you could carry a .44 Magnum should you choose to do so. Then last but not least, guys, is this little Bond Arms .357 Magnum Derringer. For those of you that don't know, Bond Arms is a company in Texas that makes these Derringers the way they should be made. We're talking real wood, real stainless steel. These are about $500 and some a piece. They're not those little cheap pot metal things that you find at the gun show. These are the real deal. And some guys will write these off like that they're nothing. But let me tell you, I know some guys that know what they're doing. Some ex-military, not a ton, but I know a couple of guys that are gun guys and know what they're doing that carry these. Also, guys, where this little thing would shine would be in your vehicle. This is a great vehicle gun to have stashed alongside your seat. You pull it out, it won't fire until the hammer's pulled back. And once the hammer's cocked, it will fire one of your chambers. You can also set it to fire the chamber that you want first. But this is a great little car defense gun, or even to carry. They got little holsters for these, little shoulder holsters. This would be something that's deep concealment, something that you really want to hide under your shirt maybe, in a shoulder holster, something you could have on you when you can't go even bigger. Even look at how much smaller it is than this Glock 43. As far as we're talking grip, barrel, width, and everything. You would have 2 rounds of .357 Magnum, and you could carry extra rounds of .357 Magnum with you as well. Don't count these little guys off. I shot with this, and I was hitting very accurately, getting good ballistics out of a .357 Magnum with this. Also, for your new people out there, or your females, practically everybody, I also recommend that you carry pepper spray. It's not a have to, but the pepper spray that I recommend is the Fox Labs 5.3 Cone, it's called. It is a spray version that comes out in a pretty heavy fog and gets a wide area. Now, with this, it's the easiest to render somebody incapacitated, but it would also be the easiest to also receive some blowback. But I would rather have a fear of blowback and a high potential to incapacitate someone that needs to be incapacitated than I would to use like little gel streams or something that you have to really hit right on the eye or they don't work. You have to really pinpoint if you're using like a gel or a stream spray, you have to pinpoint that or it doesn't work like it should. And what you want to do with pepper spray, there's a couple different ways you can do it. Some guys use train the cross, where you spray like this and then spray up to this. This is going to get the guy because when he moves or if he bends down, it's going to get him. A lot of tactical guys right now are training to do the S. You start over here off the side of the forehead, and you come over and you come down like an S, like that. Okay, that is going to definitely be enough to incapacitate someone until the police arrive. Now, keep in mind, only ever use the pepper spray if it's really warranted. You can get a pretty serious charge from law enforcement if you use the pepper spray and you didn't have cause to do so. While it is non-lethal, it is still considered a weapon, and you do have to have just cause to use pepper spray. So there it is, guys. If you have any questions, let me know. There's probably some things that I didn't cover. I don't use notes, I just go off the cuff. Please subscribe to my channel. I'll have much more things coming for you. You new guys, ask me questions below. If I get a good enough question that I think will help enough people, I will use your question and make a whole video for you. All right, guys, until next time, this is DOF, Agar, and Ziva, my German Shepherds, and we are out.